Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video we're going to be talking about this iPhone SE first generation from 2016. This phone is almost 10 years old and it is still such an awesome device. Besides the battery is pretty crap, I'll be honest, but that could be because it's an old phone. It does some weird stuff that isn't normal. Like it'll last like an hour on 90% battery and then drop like 20% in like 2 minutes. So I assume this battery is just slightly messed up. But this is such a nice size for a phone. I personally think it fits so well in the pocket. It's just so big. It's just big enough not to lose it, but it's just I think this is like the perfect size for phones. Even today, I would use this phone if the battery was better. The design on this phone, I think it is just incredible. It's the last iPhone with the power button on the top. It's the last iPhone of this size. It's the last of a lot of things. It is. I just think this design is incredible. Works perfectly on 4G networks. It's fast enough. Let's just open some apps here. Let me open TikTok. Here we go. Okay, it opened to a live, so that was kind of slow. But I mean, that was perfectly quick. And, you know, once you load everything, it loads fine. I can scroll to the next video. I can press here. It all works perfectly fine. Yeah, and that was, you know, perfectly fast enough to use. Let me open this. We'll just Google test. You can see just how perfectly fast this phone still is, even though it's almost 10 years old. And because it is iOS 15, you can get stuff like Dopamine and Troll Store. Pretty much every app I have tried to download worked perfectly. Discord, Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, Chrome Remote Desktop, you know, Molvad, my VPN, YouTube Music. All of this stuff just still works perfectly. The store is still pretty fast. This phone is just really quick, really good size. The battery, the screen's pretty good. Screen quality is really nice, actually. Like I said, battery isn't great. That's really the only drawback of this phone. I was thinking about replacing it. The heat, it does get relatively hot, but it's really not that bad at all. The camera, here, let's open that up here. The camera, I mean, it's serviceable. It works perfectly fine. I mean, I'm just super impressed with how quick and nice this phone still is after 10 years. People always say, oh, Apple devices, they're planned obsolescence. They make them obsolete after a couple of years. This phone, here, let me just open software update. Just show you something here. This phone got an update. I'm not going to update, obviously, because I want to keep my jailbreaks and stuff. But this phone very recently got a update that is extremely cool. Give me one like 10-year-old Android phone that is as smooth as this on 2 gigs of RAM, and it just still works fine, you know? I hate iCloud. It's just showing all. I'm going to have to do so much work in editing with all this crap it's deciding to show. But and of course you get your phone app, you know, you get your message, iMessage, and all this just opens perfectly quickly. It's really impressive. Yeah, there's not really that much to say. And you know, the best part is I paid $35 for this phone. You know, it has Touch ID, which is nice. Of course, it's not going to work. I actually think I don't have both fingerprints recognized. But you know, if you want an iPhone for super cheap, this thing is actually still pretty good. I'm going to show some camera samples at the end, I think. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Maybe if you guys like this video enough, you know, you leave some comments and some nice stuff like that and some subscribes. Maybe I'll try to use it for a few days, you know. Just show how good it is. I used an iPhone 6 for like a month and I didn't even make a YouTube video about it. Anyway, and with that, I'll see you all later. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all later. Bye. I just repeated subscribing multiple times. Whatever.